Hello, guys, and welcome back to newgenICU. It's a pleasure for me to have you guys again here. I'm not alone, like always. I'm with Joyce. Hey,
Hello,
Joyce.
everyone. You guys are used to me by now. I'm just happy to be here again.
Do you think we should always introduce ourselves, or we just?
I think at this point, everyone should know already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We don't have to introduce ourselves. It's just a reflex. Like
You-
every time I just click the start thing, I always try to present myself and do the whole thing
Right.
because I'm maybe used to it. So how you been?
I've been good. This past week has been pretty good. Busy, but, can't complain really.
Yeah, definitely. So, the topic of the day.
I mean, it's not a happy topic, but it's a very important topic
Mm-hmm.
to talk about
Definitely.
in this time. Yeah.
Yeah. So, this guy, Takeoff,
Yes.
died like when exactly? 2-3 days
He
ago.
died. I think it was the 1st of November.
Mm-hmm.
Today's the
The
5th.
the
So
5th, yeah.
about 4 days ago.
Wow. Wow.
Yep.
So you have a little backstory behind what really happened.
So from what I understand, basically, I'm sure everyone should be aware or familiar with the story. It's quite popular now.
Mm-hmm.
Takeoff, he was a member of the Migos. He ended up losing his life. From what I heard, it was accidental.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't the target. I don't know exactly what happened. There are different stories as to how, they started shooting and what caused the altercation. But at the end of it, he ended up getting hit and passed away. He lost his life. And I can't say how sad
Mm-hmm.
things like that make me, because I see so much potential in like us as like young Black people
Mm-hmm.
that it's so crazy. It's so crazy. Like, if we were to really help each other out and like work on ourselves, work on each other,
Mm-hmm.
we would do so much greater than just ending each other's lives,
Mm-hmm.
Over nothing.
Yeah.
This guy, he probably had a lot more things to do in his life, and it just was cut short because of what we can't even pinpoint. And it's like, once the person is gone,
Mm-hmm.
they can never come back.
Yeah, that's so sad. And I heard a little bit about it, and they were pretty much playing a game. And I think an argument broke out in the mix of it all. And the next thing you know, someone had a gun, and they couldn't handle the argument properly, and they, you know,
Crazy.
yeah, they shoot it, and the sad thing, the way I see it, it's kind of weird. um, that you will play games with people that don't really like you.
I don't think it was people that didn't like them. From what I heard, it was like they were trying to be mediators to
Okay.
an argument. I honestly, I do not know.
Do
I can't
Takeoff
speak like
was
I know.
only there, or the other guys was like
Quavo was there, I heard, and
Takeoff, Quavo, and the other one was
Offset.
like,
Offset is the other member of Migos. I think
Mhm.
he's no longer in the group.
Is no longer in the group.
No, I
Really?
think they released like a duet album recently, and he
And
wasn't
that was
there.
the last one. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think right now they're kind of separate, but those two that were there,
Mhm.
they're the ones that are still in the group.
Okay. So what are the things that you think we should take from this situation?
Honestly, I think we should learn from this that the impact that music has on our minds, and the impact that specifically hip hop music negatively, how it negatively impacts the Black community in America. And I feel like a lot of us, or a lot of Black Americans, believe that like it's their culture. It's kind of the way it is. You can't change it. But it's like, this is a pretty new culture. Like, it started in the 80s or maybe 70s. You know, it's a pretty new culture, and culture can be altered, you know. So I feel like there's some changes that need to be done in that atmosphere, because it's destroying not only these rappers' lives, it's also destroying our youth growing up, listening to this and feeling like, okay, it's okay. You know,
they take them as a role model.
Yeah.
And the majority of time, which is so sad, that I always notice here, is like, you know, they will rap about killing each other and stuff, and I mean, they don't just stop from just rapping about it. They will go and act like it. And they don't really understand the impact that they have on the youth, and also the, you know, because I'm not gonna say there's a war, but each and every community are trying to hold a certain image. So when you have a group of people that can be influenced easily by just songs, it's really you know, it's really sad. You know, at this point, you know, I'm not gonna say like that, but you know, it's like people can't even see, you know, or differentiate right from wrong. It's like whatever those guys are saying, that's what we're gonna do. It's like the gospel.
They don't have like we have an outsider's perspective. Like, we're looking at it from the outside and being like, okay, this is what's happening. But they're like, okay, this is where I live. I'm from the hood. They're also from the hood. So they understand what I'm going through. If they're telling me to do this, that means it works somehow. And it's like, us, we can't tell them nothing. We can't tell the people that are going through. They're not going to want to really pay attention or listen. But I feel like it's a very important conversation that we need to have. As a Black community, absolutely. In order for the Black community to get stronger and go back to what it was in the 80s and the, you know, before, when there was a structure, there was now I just feel like it's just very chaotic. It's very chaotic. There's no worse. It's getting worse.
And you know, I feel I don't know, but I think that if, you know, the problem is, like, sometimes I see like people they don't, you know, separate from their old friends. You know, when you get to a certain level, it's always viewed as a you know, bad thing when you separate yourself from your old hood friends, you know, your homies and stuff, because, you know, the mindset are no longer the same.
So you think that once they make it big, they should leave? No,
not leave, but friends. Not really leave their friends, but they know the reality that goes on in the mix of their friends. You know what I mean? So the best, I would suggest that the best decision will be to vet those friends and to stick with those one who, you know, kind of, you know, they have their head in place, right? But those one that, you know, that they will not make sense, right? They will shoot anybody. They will go for any, you know, opportunity.
They don't have anything to lose.
They don't have anything to lose. You said it so well, you know. And then when you have those type of friends around you, you will always find yourself in those situations where you have to pick between your friends and your new reality, you know. Because if you pick your new reality, you will be called all the names on the Bible.
A sellout.
Yeah, a sellout, you know?
Yep.
And then when you pick them over your new lifestyle, then you become this person that will be exposed to any type of situation because they don't have anything to lose. You know what I mean? So it's a really complicated situation to be in, because you kind of want to please your friend, but you at the same time, you don't want to look bad. And you're going to accept and agree with certain things. And the next thing you know, you're going to get shot. You know what I mean? It's a, you know,
it's really
you know,
sad.
I'm not going to say each and every community has that, but I think that at some point once you reach a certain level, you just have to pick your friend carefully, because you have something to lose, and they don't,
Right.
and then hanging out with just playing dash. It's really.
I feel like though with like the hip hop and the rapper environment, it's not just easy to up and leave, because literally you still, as an artist, you still need to have inspiration for your next singles. And if people see that you switch up once you leave the hood, your credibility as a hip hop artist is not going to be as strong, because they're going to be like, well, you're talking about all this and you're leaving your people that you grew up with behind. Like, why should we trust you? You're a punk, they're gonna like label you as like, a sellout, and like
sellout, No,
I think it's better it would be better for them to focus on like positivity in their lyrics. I don't remember the last time I heard mainstream hip hop. I don't remember the last time I heard something positive, like just regular positive energy from these artists. I don't remember. Either they're talking about how they're depressed, they're talking about suicide, they're talking about just negative things like killing, having sex with multiple women, baby mama stuff. Nothing is ever constructive. And I'm like, are we going to continue to bring out things that are unconstructive or inconstructive? I don't know what the word, but like, it's like the more we like spew out those things, the worse our community is going to get.
Definitely.
And then you're gonna have more single parent households. You're gonna have more dysfunctional men, more dysfunctional women, and then we're gonna keep raising kids that depend on hip hop artists to raise them or to teach them values. And these same hip hop artists have not been raised or taught any values.
Definitely.
You know, the
they don't have anything to give, actually.
Yeah.
Just, they're old reality.
And it's like, what shocked me is that from what I heard from the video with Takeoff and that Quavo, I didn't watch the video because I can't watch stuff like that, but Quavo was like in disbelief. That's what I was told. And I was like, that's at a point where you realize that you're not invincible, and it's like, why does it have to get to that point for us to realize that there's a change that needs to happen? Is it why does it have to get to like a celebrity, a person that we admire, look up to pass away for us to care? There needs to be an actual everyday work, because like it's a war. It's a war against the community, and it's like, we can't just give it up and give it up to Hollywood, because Hollywood is not going to give the same products to people of different cultures. Oh no, they're going to give us the trash. They're going to give the Black community what is deplorable and what will make us make our minds be like, I don't know, messed up in a way. That's what they're going to feed us. But they're not going to feed that to the white community. They're not going to feed that to the Asian community. They're not going to feed that to the Hispanic community. They're going to get fed the country music, the pop music, the stuff that, sometimes they get, good messages out of those songs.
The thing is so funny about this topic is like, I mean, not topic, but the way you talking about it is like, they have, those other community, they have the ability to choose and to pick, because the Hollywood thing is out there for everybody to watch, everybody to see. How come it's affecting more Black people than other communities?
I think it's because it comes from the culture of blackness. So it's a Black cultural
blackness.
No, yeah. You guys know what I mean. It comes from the Black people's culture. So it's like, and Black people in America. So it's like, once they see themselves, once they see their counterparts starting a movement and making that a type of culture popular, they're gonna jump on it. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, this is a cultural thing, and it's been going on for so long. In the beginning, it wasn't negative. It was cool. It was hip. Everybody was going along with it, and then gradually they started to mess it up. Gradually, they started to promote artists that are bringing forth messages that will be detrimental to the community, whilst the artists that are actually rapping about things that will change or would wake people's consciousness, they're not being pushed. Oh, we don't want to hear about that. We want to hear about how you're selling drugs and you got how many baby mamas and you're doing this, you're doing that. That's what they want to push. And that's what people have learned to accept.
Yeah, but at the same time, they could push whatever they could push, but you still the last decision
Comes from you.
comes from you. You know, you either love it or you don't. You know what I mean? Because it's in other communities, they have that ability to pick, to choose, to decide that they want to do it like you guys because it's cool, right? And it's fun. But what is that thing that prevents them from taking the decisions to take it that far?
Like, stop listening to it. Like,
No, not
don't
really
indulge
stop
it.
listening to it, but not acting like it.
That's hard.
How come?
It's
a
hard.
personal decision.
It's hard. I feel like you are kind of what you consume. Like,
Yeah.
what you see
But they
eventually.
consume it too, because look at the population in the U.S. The majority of people here are white. So how come with all this feeding thing that the Hollywood and the music industry feeds the whole U.S. and feeds the world, I would say, how come is affecting only and only the black community while the biggest population is white?
That's a good. I think, first of all, I'm not trying to give excuses, but
Just
I
do
think
it.
no, it's not an excuse. I think a lot of the like community, not a lot, but like a good chunk of the black community is impoverished. Meaning they live in low income neighborhoods and have to deal with what comes along with that. Whereas
You're giving excuses now.
I'm giving excuses.
Yes.
I don't think it's the excuses.
It
I think
is.
it's just the truth of the matter. Like,
No, then you won't take accountability on your side. You're just leaving it to them doing stuff to you. But you have a piece of accountability in this picture, because
of course you have a
you
piece
can
of
be in-
accountability, but if
you
you're
can be
coming
in
from
poverty, but you still have the power. That's a God-given right. The power to decide whatever you're gonna do with
when
your
you're
life.
when you're impoverished and like that is sold to you as your culture, you're not gonna do a lot of thinking. You're not gonna do a lot of like 'cause
Thinking what I mean, because you don't have enough resources for you to think.
nobody has taught you those things. You've been raised in it. There's nothing that can snap you out of it.
No. I completely understand what you're saying, but what you're missing is that the information is there, the results are there, the impacts that those things are having in the community are there. So what is preventing this, whole picture to move, from moving this, from A to B, while you have, like, that's why I'm emphasizing in having the power to decide, because the resources, we live in the U.S., the internet is there, the resources are there, the information's also there. So what is this thing that keeps us from making a decision? Like, they are making the music, they're making the music, they're making the money, but I'm not gonna subscribe to this.
I think it goes down to poverty. It's not just like physical poverty, like I don't have money. It's also poverty of the mind. If you're not, if nobody has given you the knowledge, or nobody has taught you different, you're not gonna. A lot of these people that grow up are not even raised.
So the family is the problem.
Maybe they're. Yeah, we can go back to that. Maybe their parents, their moms is like a single mom. She's probably working 2-3 jobs trying to, raise them properly, and she won't be able to give them the education.
Yeah.
So
I definitely.
So it's
agree
like
with that.
now you don't have anybody to raise you. You're being impoverished in your mind by what you see, what you hear, and then also going to school, seeing people that come from a similar background to yours, but they're doing, like, they've given themselves the freedom to do crazier stuff. So you feel like, okay, he's kind of like me. He's joining a gang. Let me join a gang.
Yeah.
And I think also a lot of it stems with also the mindset of like, I think Black people have this mindset that I've watched, that I've seen over the years, of like fighting back. Like
Fighting
by that I
back
mean
against
by
white
that I mean
supremacy?
no, because that needs to be fought against. Okay, no, I'm talking about
You're gonna get me canceled here.
white supremacy. Those are like Hitler type
Yeah,
stuff.
that was just me being.
But what was I even
But
saying?
do you still believe that there's white supremacy here in the U.S.?
So, honestly, probably. I mean, to an extent, in certain places. I need to Google what white supremacy is, because in my head, I'm thinking Hitler. I'm thinking.
You're thinking Hitler.
Yeah, there are white supremacists, but I think it's like at a governmental like level. I don't really think so, but I don't know.
I don't think so. There's no white supremacy.
Okay, we're not doing this.
No,
we're not doing this.
No. We're gonna do it probably later, but we're gonna
But
stick
let
to
me
the.
finish.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
let me
stick to
stick
the subject. Yeah.
Let me finish my thought.
Yeah, go
So I was saying, so the Black people that I've been raised around, a lot of them are very like, I don't know how to explain it, but like, you know how like when people say, oh, a boy fought me after school, or like I was jumped, like for, I don't want to do it like a compare and contrast, because I feel like Africans do that too. I feel like Black people in general would be like, oh no, go back and fight. Oh, go back and beat them up. You know, that mindset of like not being afraid of anything, like, yeah, they're gonna see me, they're gonna hear me, thinking you're invincible. And it's like, at the end of the day, that's not a good mindset to have, to always want to be combative, to always want to kind of, you know, go against what, I don't know, what is being presented to you, but in like a physical type of confrontation type thing.
I mean, as you said, I think I would name 2 or 3 problems that I always see in the black community, because, you know, as you said, you've been watching and you notice certain things. I also noticed certain things. The first problem is the place of God. You know, God, religion doesn't mean anything for Black people today. You know, the relationship with God is just out of the scope, out of the, you know, the conversation, and the family. Because if you don't have God, it's hard for you to see the importance of the family. So you have that, you have God, the family, and probably, I would give it to, how am I gonna put it? I mean, God, the family, it's already enough. You know, the rest is just gonna be minor things to just, you know, fix here and there. But once you already have God, you know, you're fixing a lot of problems. And then once you have the family in God's structure, you know, everything is secure. Since those elements are not there in the picture, I mean, I don't think we're gonna go anywhere from where we are. It's just gonna get worse and worse, because we don't realize that the problem is actually there. You know, just bring back God in the family, and I think the result will be different. Because as you explained, like you know, single family, you know, single mom are raising kids, but they're working 9 to 5. And sometimes they just go overtime, and they don't really have the time to discuss with the kids, to teach the kid, to talk to the kid, and the father figure is not even there. So whenever the mom is at work, the kids is left alone, and is learning from streets, from movies, from, you know, cartoons and stuff. And then once you grow up like that, you would definitely be subject to whatever you have learned all your life.
And it's hard to undo that.
It's hard to undo that.
Because you're used to that.
Yes. But there's still a possibility to undo that if you bring back God into your life. you know. But you have to have the will, you have to have the desire, and you have to be accountable for your own mistakes for you to be able to see that, hey, I have a problem, I have to get it fixed. You know, you recognizing that you have a problem is the first step to this process of change. But if it's not there,
How do they recognize that they have a problem?
because the result speaks by itself.
But what if they're just like, that's just how it's always been type thing? Like,
Yeah, but then the result will be the same. You know, the same action will produce the same
Same result.
results. You know, you have to be, smart enough to be like, oh, okay, I'm doing whatever I've been doing, it's not getting me anywhere. I have to change. Where can I start to change? Like, where exactly is you have to first of all identify the problem where it is, right? Where it is. And if you're like, okay, this is the problem, acknowledge the problem.
so do you
and then
think
move
that's
forward.
an issue of like Christians not being open or not evangelizing to people enough?
Yes, I think also we have a piece of that problem, because the church have left people. The church is not it's not really involved in people's life the way it used to, because people needed freedom. They wanted to decide, but not according to God. They wanted to do whatever they wanted, but not according to God.
Right.
So then when you say not according to God, you're taking the word of God out of the conversation. So then the Bible, the only thing that they represent to you will be the Bible. So if you don't want to hear the Bible, who you going to hear? The pastor? He got nothing to tell you, despite, what is in the Bible. So when you don't want to hear the word of God, then the pastor is powerless. So since I'm powerless, if I was a pastor, I don't have anything to give you. So then just go do your thing. And then once you see the result, the problem is we want to see everybody dying. So then we're going to wake up. And it's going to happen, because if we don't, people would die like this. And today is Quavo, or no, Takeoff.
Takeoff,
Sorry,
yeah.
sorry, guys. Is Takeoff. Tomorrow is going to be someone so important, but the black community could wake up or could not wake up. And then you're gonna see people after people, important people, the image of the black people, the role model in the black community will die like this, and nobody's gonna sit down and say, okay, I know Farrakhan, minister is there, and then all those other guys are there, but I don't know where exactly the problem is as far as each individual dealing with this situation, because it might be serious to me, but it's not serious to you. It might be so important to you than it is for anybody out there. You're going to be more involved to see the change, or wanting to see the change, than, me, for example, because I don't care. Once I don't care, I'm not going to be involved the way you are. So that's a little problem that we also have. But if we have the same voice, the same union, the same mentality, the same vision, the same, it's going to be hard. Nowadays with all this freedom, it's really going to be hard, because you have to have a sacrifice that needs to take place, meaning your right, meaning your freedom to just do whatever you want. Now we're holding an image. Now people are looking at us. If I kill you, yes, I killed you. I won, or I fulfilled whatever plan I had, but to them, we are looking really bad. We can't deal with an argument. We can contain ourselves from crossing the line of taking someone else's life. This is really dangerous. And then they will treat us the way they treat us, because, hey, those are a bunch of animals. No, sorry for saying that like that, but it is what it is, because if you can't control yourself on, you have anger, and you have I would say whatever thing that you want to do to your brother, and you don't even think that the line will be taking his life. You want to cross it. You are, you are planning to cross it, and you did it, and you're not feeling anything after. Then there's a problem, and it might look good on your team, on your squad, on your how's those guys? How's it called again?
Gang.
On your gang.
Don't make no hand gesture. Child, they gonna be coming for you.
Yeah, I know, right? Yes, sir. You know, sure. Sorry. You know, on your gang, you're gonna look tough, and you did it. You know, they're gonna
Right.
raise you to a different level or whatever. But no, out there we look so bad. We can deal with anything, and we are easily
And then
influenceable.
it makes people not want to be around you.
Yeah.
Like, why do you
Yeah.
act like that?
But you know, the sad part is like the resources are there. We have black billionaires in this country.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have black men and women having a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't care because it's all about the bag. It's all about the bag.
And
They rather
even-
protect their bag than just, you know, risking to save you guys. They're not Moses. Maybe Kanye is. I don't know.
No,
Just kidding.
He's not. Absolutely, Kanye's not Moses.
But when you listen to Kanye for a little while, you will see that this guy, even if they talk about him the way they do, but he got something that the black community needs to grab.
I don't know.
I'm telling you.
I don't listen to his interviews. I just feel like he's kind of just talking. Like, I just feel like that about a lot of celebrities. They kind of just say what they think we want to hear when they want our support. And I'm just like, where were you? Like, no, I don't care. I don't care what Kanye's telling me right now.
Yeah, no, you have the right.
I'd rather focus on, you know, the Bible, things that are like unchanging, unwavering.
Mm-hmm.
I know that, like, it is what it is. What it says is not going to change tomorrow. With Kanye, it's like he can tell you one thing. Tomorrow he might tell you something different.
Switch.
You know, it's like, I don't want to deal with his mood swings.
Yeah. No, I got you. But while he's having his mood swing, there's some truth that comes out of his mouth.
What is a truth that has come out of his mouth since he's
No, I
gone?
mean, it's hard for me to name it right now, but it's a whole concept. You just words here and there, you know, phrases or things that he said won't make any sense because you have to get the whole picture. You know, it's someone that can talk about, comme on dit en français, like we say in French, the coq à l'âne. It could be talking about his ex-wife and connecting it with something else. But then if I tell you only about his ex-wife, you won't get it because there's something that connects with something else that he's trying to say after. But then to quote him word for word is gonna be hard because he's always all over the place. But that was good, right? Or you have anything else to add?
I just want to, I guess, finish up to say that, like, this is not to bash the black community. This is not to, like, bring us down. I think this is something that we have to work on, that we have to hear, that we have to be sensitive to, because it's destroying the community. It's not only us that are getting destroyed, it's the younger generation, you know, and it's creating more toxicity, and it's going to create more deaths of young men that have so much to offer. 28, that's,
It was
you haven't lived.
Wow.
You haven't traveled outside. A lot of these guys are stuck in the hood, just gang banging and staying in the hood. If we work on, like, actually making our music positive, and actually, you know, if we have to boycott the song, boycott the song. If you have to boycott the artist, boycott the artist. Do the same thing you do when they talk, you know, about, like, something that you hold dear, you know, that you don't like. If they're talking about killing your fellow brother, your fellow sister, cut it off, even if it has a nice beat, because guess what? That person that they're talking about could affect maybe your brother, your sister, your sibling. Someone might be listening to it that hates your brother. You don't know. You're jamming, you're dancing, and you're giving them props. They go perform, and, you know, more of their songs get sold. Next thing you know, that mindset is in that person. That person kills your brother. Now you're crying. Why are you crying? You know, don't cry. I feel like it's just a thing of, like, if we continue to feed into it, if we continue to give it that momentum and, like, that type of energy, then it's going to continue to grow. And these executives and these people in higher places, they don't care about the well-being of the black community. Matter of fact, they want to see us the lowest of the low. And if that's not something we want to see, then that's something we have to change. We have to change. They're not going to come and do it for you. They're not going to care about it for you. More people are going to die. Guess what? They're just going to sell the records of those people that died and make more money in the person's death than they did when they were alive. It's a plus for them. They're like, yeah, it's a death. Let's sell it. Let's, do these and this and this and that to make more money. But it's like, that's a whole human being. That's someone's brother, someone's uncle, someone's dad. Like, it's crazy. Growing up without a dad must be heartbreaking. Like, how? As a kid, you're just going to grow up. You're going to see your friends with their fathers, doing things for them. Or if you fall into a crazy situation, you don't have a dad to call. If your mom is busy or if something happens to your mom, you don't have your dad to call. How are you going to navigate life? Who's going to teach you the ropes? This is crazy. It's destroying the community. And I think it's something that we honestly need to reevaluate. Absolutely.
I got nothing else to add. You said it all, and you said it so well. Well, thank you guys for sticking around, because we talked about a lot of things here, and I hope that you guys will leave us a comment, right? Yep. Leave us a comment, and hit the like button, please.
Hit the like, share, subscribe.
Please do it, because that's how you're gonna help us to grow. I know that it's a beginning, but we don't give up. We will continue to serve you guys with whatever thoughts we have, whatever opinion that we have. With that being said, I would say thank you guys for stopping by. And you have anything to?
I just want to say excuse me for coughing. I have a mild cough, so yeah, that's it.
Yeah, sure. All right, see you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.